How's it going, everybody? We'll give this here a minute to everything to sync up, and we'll be live and rolling in just a minute. Let's see, it looks like there goes the notification. And looks like I'm seeing it here on my end. Cool. Checking everything. Yep, notifications out. Post is up. Cool. We'll give it just a minute here. I think we should be good for tonight. We got all the new camera system working and the new high-speed internet, so hopefully we won't get a bunch of buffering. Got a couple fun ones. We're going to talk AUGs, mail system, some videos that are coming out about SHOT Show, and then just general questions. Guys, remember, whenever I do a live stream, it's always Q&A, so if you got questions, just throw them in the comments and I'll run through them. And we'll be here for about an hour tonight. So, kind of moving stuff around here. Let's see. Well, it's over there. Alright guys, well hopefully the computer's not too much of a distress. Let's see. Second notification just went out. There we go. Alright, well I can see how things are rolling here. Definitely have a odd setup when we do live streams because two different computer systems have to work together to make sure that they're linking to YouTube. So, fun. Well, man, it's a weekend, so yay. We can play some guns and do some stuff, and we can talk a little bit about AUGs. Granted, I've been doing a whole bunch with the AUG just because it seems to be really popular right now. And granted, I don't have mine due to the popularity. I have mine because I like the platform. So I taught a class last weekend on a armory portion for the AUG. And guys, I've talked about it a little bit in the forums on a few chats and just kind of posted it out there. But I'm going, see, email should go out today or tomorrow, and then in 2 weeks, I'll actually be meeting with the man that actually owns the facility. But I am putting together a armorer's class and a basic AUG carbine course here in Tennessee. So there's going to be a maximum number of 15 allocations, so 15 spots. That's it. It's going to be a full day. It will be a Saturday, and I am trying to get it for June. So I really like to hit it in the middle of June, just to give you guys an idea. Let's see. Oh, sir, hooty hoo. Yes, sir, hooty hoo. Definitely motorcycle weather. I got the Harley outside and cranked it up the other day. But going back to the AG class, so June, I'm trying to figure, middle of June. It's going to be on a Saturday. I just need to see what dates are available and get the money set up to rent the range out. So I'll be doing that. If you guys are interested in taking that class, please email me at TnSteyr@gmail. I need name and that you are wanting to come to the AG Armorer's class and carbine course. I'll put a list together of all the tools and the things you're going to need. Price isn't going to be very much. It's looking to be about the $150 mark per person to come, and you'll have to supply your own AUG and your own ammo. I'll supply books and some basic tools to help everybody else and walk through a tear down, how to install some of the AirAd parts, Corvus defense parts, gearhead works, how to pull rails, and just go over the whole general of how to actually properly take down your AUG, how to tune one, and do a complete step-by-step, and explain what goes into being an armorer, and at least knowing how it works. Yes, Guncat? Yes, you're down there. Okay, well, the Guncat's in here. She's telling me she wants to go. So that's going to happen on the actual carbine side of the class. We're going to do basics on how to charge a weapon, how to clear malfunctions, proper shouldering, sight alignments. It doesn't matter if you got an LVO, the factory Steyr optics, rail mounts with iron sights, or like the 45-degree offset. I'll kind of play with all those since I've had them, and we'll go over just proper alignment. We'll get everybody sighted in at 100 meters, and you'll have the opportunity to go all the way out to 750 meters. Realistically, for 5.56, the AEG platform, we're going to go 0 to 500. But if you're a qualified shooter, you think you're good, we'll have some spotting equipment. I'll maybe bring out the big Vulcan rifle, the big 308, and we'll spot, and we'll get a couple guys to kind of search it out. I know what the holdovers are for that distance, and I can get you in the neighborhood. So play around with it if you really want to stretch one out. Class is going to be broke down to 3 to 4 hours of armory time, quick lunch break, and then the rest of the day will be spent on the range getting to actually shoot. So something I'm putting together. It's in the works, but it's not 100% guaranteed. The biggest thing I need from you guys, if you're interested, I need to know that you're actually interested, so I can put the funds out there and secure the range and the time to use the facility. It will be here in Tennessee. It'll be in Western Tennessee. Just figure Jackson, Tennessee for your area. I can help you out with hotels or good places to stay. And it will literally be rain or shine. It won't matter what the weather is during whatever weekend that we're going to be there. We've got covered area. There's cars to shoot in and out of. Big tire berms. There's dragon's teeth to mess with. There's bunkers. There's a helicopter on site that's been decommissioned to shoot from, let alone a covered paddock. But it's still outdoors. So no matter what the weather is, we'll still shoot, still have a bunch of fun, but it's going to be rain or shine. So I'll put some more details together once I get it squared away, but I'm hoping for June. Constant video footage. So yeah, I'm not one of the big channels that gets it out same day or that week, but hopefully for what I videoed, the content, questions I talked to, the people I talked to and got the questions answered, hopefully you guys will like what I've got. And someone's going, she's in her office. Cool. Let's see. On this particular build, I'm actually going to reassemble this barrel tonight. We're going to talk about this AUG LMG system that we've got going on. What was needed to clean it, put it together, and get it fixed. Some parts and stuff that came in that had to be remanufactured or just remanned and cleaned up. And I guess we'll just start the night off on a funny and sad note. Oh, just tea tonight, guys. So, funny sad note. The customer that actually owns this was sending me some more parts because, well, we'll get to that in a second. A bayonet lug. So, if you guys have seen the Instagram footage, I showed where somebody had pried that one off of a barrel and bent the living hell out of it. Marred up on the inside, which the inside can be fixed for the flange for where the nut and bolt go through it. That's not really a problem. After attempting to try to fix this, and this is as good as it got because it's sprung, it is no longer round, doesn't fit on a barrel. I took some pictures and have them out there, but just to kind of give you guys an idea, it's just sprung. There's no way for this to thread on properly, and this is what happens when you buy off of eBay and you don't see when someone's like, oh, I've got a box of them. Definitely check with them, make sure they've got good feedback, but you're buying good used parts, not, yeah, I've got something sitting around in a box, I just have to have one. These are starting to get kind of expensive, and I mean, it is AUG parts, so most things are expensive, but it just really sucks if you're spending, $50, $100 on a bayonet lug because, they're hard to get, or a muzzle device and you don't know the actual condition of the one that you're going to receive. If I had seen this or the customer had seen it, I would have totally told him not to buy that one, to buy a different one, or ask to see if he had a different one. This thing is now going to be strictly pin it on your wallboard that I have one, and, we could make it work, but it's not safe, it's not good to use anymore. I don't have the tooling here to actually fix this, because the threads are all messed up on the inside, it's not round anymore, and it's bent and sprung. So it just sucks. So we did order, or he did order another one from a different person. Again, be mindful who you're buying from online. Got a really decent round one. It was just kind of rusty. It actually came off a Malaysian parts kit, but it was good. Just had to clean it up, had to file a couple of the edges where it had some nicks, some use on it from 1980s or so in third world countries. But I got this one all cleaned up. I posted some pictures of it. We sanded it and reshot it in black, so it looks as next to new or as new OEM as possible. So we did get one that works. The other stuff that he ordered was an original STG 77 muzzle brake and Castle check nut. So this is actually going to go on this LMG barrel. So the funny sad part to kind of start this off was today I received, and make sure I keep his address on my side, received U.S. postage. So I've heard of some stuff going on. Personally, like when I ship stuff out, I always make sure I tape boxes up really well. I don't rely on the self-adhesive glue. I always, overly tape stuff for the most part. But this was supposed to be some more STG 77 parts for this build and another build. And I kid you not, we verified that this is his signature on the back of this. The box does not appear to be tampered. The only thing that he doesn't remember doing or says that he did not do was put this tape on the box. So somehow somebody was really, really good, got the glue removed, didn't screw up. Let's see, I'll kind of do this. They didn't tear this side of the package. So when I opened this today, when I came back home, somebody sent me a New Jersey Lotto 500 Frenzy scratcher. That was not a winner. That would have been nice to have it, $500. That would have been cool. But yeah, someone already scratched it, so I didn't even get the opportunity to scratch it and lose. The other thing, which I'll have to take pictures of this because it's just wild. Somebody who's an Instagram person made some heart-shaped, I don't know if it's a necklace or a bracelet, but I got some heart-shaped things in a fairy photo. But the cooler, oddest thing for, this supposedly having gun parts in it and it being sent here is K-bar earrings. So, what do you guys think? Should I get my ears pierced to have K-bar earrings? And no, it's not a joke. He did not send this as a gag or something or, to screw with me. He was actually quite upset when I called him and told him I don't understand your gift. If there's a gag, I'm not getting it. And if you were to send me one of the, you won $1 million scratcher things, why'd you scratch it? You kind of lost the point. He's called me 3 times. I've sent pictures. And he has assured me quite adamantly he did not pack this. So, be mindful if you're shipping gun parts in the post office service. Maybe double bag it. Do the old the dad trick with duct tape and wrap the whole damn package. So, thanks post office service for the weird stuff you put in a box, or somebody thought it would be funny and do this. So that's that. I've got a video. It'll be coming out. I'm trying to think on what day. Actually, I don't even think I've uploaded it to YouTube yet. Everybody's asked me a couple times on, was I going to do a different video streaming service or platform to host videos on? And I've looked at a few. I've seen a couple different ones. The YouTubers and the people that I follow and listen to on a daily basis, I've all heard them talk about Rumble. So no, I'm not leaving YouTube. I am going to try to figure out how Rumble works and if it's a good host or not for this type of community and platforming. So at the moment, it's just the same videos that are on my YouTube channel. I'm going to upload over there. I don't know if I'll get the whole 200 something videos I've done, or I'll do independent content over there. They've got a weird partner program, so I'm kind of learning, seeing how it works. But if you guys are into Rumble, check out. I got the channel set up over there, and we're uploading some. And I have a video over there now that's not on the YouTube channel, and it's from Gearhead Works. It's talking about their oils and CLP cleaner. So I'll have that up to YouTube probably here in a week or so, but it's over there to see if it gains any traction for SHOT Show coverage. So in this build, I wanted to really test out these products. So Gearhead Works, if you guys came to my range day, they gave away a ton of this product to let people test it out. They bought an oil company to kind of diverse their company and just to do other things. So this here is their actual gun lubricant oil. Does everything. It's super, super potent stuff. You don't need a lot of it, and I'll explain that in a second. And then they've got their CLP. So just decent cleaner. It's called Extreme Force. You should be able to find it hopefully on their website. If not, it's on Instagram, and the owner from Gearhead Works will kind of explain that in his video of what it is, what it does. But since August of 2021, I've been using their cleaners, the CLP, and their gun oil on everything here on the channel. So been testing it on my EDC, on range toys, to the precision bolt gun stuff. So we're about 6 months in now, with this being February or middle of February. The oil, and you guys know I don't put stuff on the channel that I don't recommend. I won't buy myself. So you take my advice on cleaners and stuff, that way. The oil, yes, I would buy it 100%. This stuff works. This bottle's 6 months old. It's literally right there. I might have used 1/10 out of this bottle, and I've literally put this on everything. Anybody that's come here, I've showed it to. You literally, when you do a AUG, it takes 6 eye drops of this, and it's actually got a little dropper nipple here in the front. 6 drops does this complete gun. On a pistol, about 3 drops coats everything, and this stuff has a bonding agent. Kind of reminds me of how Teflon bonds to metal. It stays on there, and on my big bolt gun, the Vulcan, my 1 mile 308 system, I have coated it about 3 times just because I really wanted to see if it made a huge difference on accuracy or would freeze up in the weather. So far, the oil's been great. No problems. Everything is really super wet on that platform. Everything else is coated in standard use. That one I just kind of heavily coated to see if I could make it hold dirt or screw up a section of the bolt gun, just to kind of cause a malfunction or see what would happen when I shoot competition and distance. So far nothing's happened. It's just greasy. I might have put too much on there that just hasn't soaked all the way into the metal, but it works. Except for having just excess oil on your hands occasionally, I just wipe it off. But AUG, we've ran some full autos with it. Ran suppressor systems. We've cleaned up carbon, and the carbon has not stuck to anything in here. Everything's just wiped off, and the cleanup side's been really, really well. So if you guys are interested, that's the oil. CLP cleaners, honestly, I've never been a big fan of them. I've always kind of used just Remington Rem oil, spray it, use a toothbrush, scrub it down with that type of stuff, and then flush it. If I needed to remove carbon or copper, I've been a big Bortec fan since I was shown that product. So if you've never seen Bortec carbon remover, that stuff literally in matters of seconds to minutes will remove all carbon from a muzzle device, totally takes it away, or from a bolt carrier group. The Extreme Force CLP I used on this barrel on all these parts for about a week. They sat in it. I put it in a sonic tank, ran it, cleaned it that way, scrubbed them, put them back into the CLP cleaner. It's not as potent as what I'm used to for other chemicals. I think this is really more of a hobbyist, or throw it in your range bag and use it, if you just need it for the momentary. For me, if I'm doing armory work, it's not heavy enough. It works, but it takes too much time for what I'm used to, and I want to get stuff cleaned up and done in the same day. This is, kind of let it soak for a little while, clean in there. But I've also been just trying to remove a ton of carbon, 20-year-old dirt and grease and grime and buildup. Who knows when these parts were clean last in the barrel. It works. It just takes 2 to 3 times the amount of time that I'm used to using. So it was nice that, I mean, they did give it to me. I've still got a bottle or two of this. I'm going to keep using it and see how it changes, but at the moment it works. I'm just not excited about it. So if you guys are looking for it, I mean, it gets the job done, but at the same time, so does Remington spray oil and a really good nylon toothbrush, and just scrub stuff, or get a rag and scrub the hell out of it. But it is there. The stuff's not overly expensive, and it even comes in comes with a mister spray top. Let's see. All right, guys, I'll take a drink. I'll read your comments. Okay, let's see. Someone's asking about, will USA get barrels back in stock? To that question, as of last night, 200 20-inch AUG barrels came on the market. There's one company, V1 Tactical. They had a bunch of people that had pre-ordered, had been waiting 6 months or 8 months to get those. All the ones that weren't allocated to those customers went on their website, and if you check out the AUG Facebook group, I know it was, their advertisement was over there. If not, search online. You're looking for V1 Tactical. I know they have some 20-inch barrels at the moment. I don't know what colors, I don't know what the quantities left, but I know they got 200. I just don't know if it was 200 total or 200 in like green, black, and white, or mud colored. I don't know if it was 200 in each color or 200 total. But they are out there, and as far as I've been hearing and seeing in the chat groups, they've been selling like hotcakes. If you're asking about 16-inch barrels, you're probably another year, because Steyr, all of their manufacturing is going to completing guns and orders for guns at the moment, which I do have a Steyr update, which I'm going to do in a different video. Since there was an issue at SHOT Show and we did not get to meet, we actually had to do it via text message and email. So I do have a Steyr corporate update that they sent me. Let's see, Airwolf. Yeah, man, I mean, great. I mean, YouTube does what I need it to do for the most part. It gets me out here to you guys, but, different ones. I'll check out the Odyssey, see what it is. The biggest thing is I'm not a super computer whiz, so it takes me a minute to figure out how the platforms work, and I don't need to have 3 or 4 video uploading platforms and trying to respond to everybody. You guys know that I really interact with everybody that is subscribed to the channel or asks me a question. So I just started really posting on Reddit and going through some of that. So I've started to diversify a little bit and move around. So you guys are going to see me out there, and it's strictly TnSteyr. You guys will know it's me because you'll see the photos or comments. You guys can directly email and talk to me. So I just need to be careful I don't overstretch myself or have so many out there that I can't keep track with, because some days it's 20, 30 emails over a weekend. Other days I might get 2. So I'll keep that. So we're actually I'm going to rebuild this barrel and answer a few questions and even show what some people were asking me about. Anything on the shirts? Hey, Will. I actually, last night, I emailed the company that I was trying to work with on getting shirts. Haven't got a response back. So if I don't have something by Monday, I'll be calling them. Still in the works. I just got to find someone to make me shirts. I have a design. I have what I want. I just need them to take my idea, make it work, and make it a nice shirt like this one. If you guys haven't seen the back, how this one is, basically we're going to do the same thing, just with an updated logo. I just don't want that horrible Walmart press-on screen print, and I don't want the damn ink to be so thick that it sticks to you. That was really the nice thing about these shirts. So I'm working on that. Yeah, definitely, Wolf. I mean, I don't know. There's some days I don't like YouTube on that side of it, but I don't know. I'm not one of the gun tubers that's here that is trying to pick up sponsorships and money and, you know, chase the almighty dollar for that. I'm here because I like what I do. So I'm different on that side of it. I mean, you guys see the companies I work with and get to do stuff for, and you guys send me stuff to check out and play with. That's like this Potovac mag loader. It's here because one of you guys sent it to me, and you know, I like the company after getting to play with their product. So if I need another mag loader, I'll be buying one of those, and I'll tell you guys that I like it. And if you want a mag loader for an AUG, this is the one to go get besides your almighty thumb. Let's see. MKL 1. Yeah, I mean, and granted, guys, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do a Steyr video and explain my understanding and my time being around the company and the insight that I understand. And I'm going to do, I've talked about it for some time and I've told people more on one-on-one conversations, but I'm going to do the video and kind of explain some of the thought process or what goes on kind of there at Steyr from, like I said, from my time just being around the company, visiting the different CEOs that were there and the insights that I was led to. And hopefully that'll answer some of the questions or at least put it in perspective for some people. But it's kind of like a kid asking a parent, you know, can they go somewhere? And then one parent tells you to go ask the other one. And you go ask the other one, and they tell you to ask the other one. And then your brother tells you, like, they have to go or they don't want to go with you. And it just, it plays a circle game. So that's kind of where that's at. And then I do have an update for USA and a bunch of parts stuff. So there's that. 20-inch barrel. Trust me, if I could get 20-inch barrels, I could probably sell every one of them, and nobody would bother with whatever the price was. They just would want them. I will tell you, they are out there literally every day. Search the big gun broker sites. Be on the sites. Like, you have to be looking. As soon as you find one, it just sucks, man. Whatever the price is, if you truly want one and you want it, when it comes available, buy it right then on the second. Don't think about it, just buy it. The last one I saw sell was about $3,000 for a good barrel. I have seen some ones that have been shot extensively on full auto that were, 60% or so of the life had been taken out of a barrel, and those are, 1,500 on the low side, 2,200 is about average for what I see them sell for when they come up. Normally, there's 2 to 3 a year that pop up on the market that come out. I literally had the opportunity at SHOT Show, and I just couldn't get cell phone service. I missed it by about 3 minutes, and I could have had a very nice 80% barrel life left. And I didn't even ask the price. They said, I'll take it. And I was like 3 minutes. I was one text message, short of getting it. I should reach out to the gentleman and ask him actually what it sold for, because I can tell you guys that happened a month ago now. So I'll see if I can reach out to the gentleman and find out an approximate, what it sold for. Update. Let's see, Kevin. Update on Arid Rails. So what I understand right now with Arac Engineering or Arac Concepts, granted the guys that are making the upgraded AUG parts, they are doing Operation Dog Drop as a sponsor out there. They've put some time into that. They're finishing their website, and I believe the key members of their staff have finalized their move. A lot of the guys are military or like an executive type, and they were doing some relocating in the U.S., and I know they were getting that straightened out. I don't know exactly all the 100% details. I just know some were moving from Tennessee to like the West Coast for work and job and military deployment contracts and military life. So at the moment, I know they were focusing on the website. I think they took a month off from production of the usable prototypes for like the trigger, the safety. I know they had some still available. The best thing to do is shoot them an email or hop over on Instagram, and that you can go over to mine if you guys see anything I say, arid precision or engineering. Just it's linked. Shoot them a DM, see what's going on. And granted, I'm just one of the test guys. Like the rest of the companies, I don't actually work for them or anything. I work with them when they want me to test something or try it out. So I know they're working on it. I do have a couple of their prototypes that we've been testing. I can't show them to you guys at the second because I'm not allowed to, but I can tell you I have 2 or 3 sitting about 10 feet that way. We've been doing for test fitting and setting it up, so they are working on it. I just think home life, move, transfer, job, I think that has to be their number one priority, and then this here's their pet project or their retirement, what they're setting up. And the people that I've met that have been in charge of the company, they don't want to just create a product and throw it out there. They want it to be perfect. They're taking a Corvos Defensio thought and line idea. They're going to make a part. They're going to make it work perfectly the first time. And I did help them. They did resize their triggers for the brand new AUGs because the stocks are a little bit different on sizing. There's been some updates on that, and I think like on the part suites, they're just waiting on the machine people to get back to them on actual production. So I know on the rails they're working on it. I just don't know what the final verdict is at the moment. Well, I know, long way around it, but it gives you a full update about their company that I'm aware of. Ask about update. Well, if you're referring to A2 pistols, I have an update with that. I'll do that in the Steyr Pacific video. Command to the platform. Okay, King. So you saw the Corvos Defensio trigger pack. I'll make this one really short for how that's going to work. They've been developing that for like 5 or 6 years that I'm aware of. No, it's not out in the market. It's still in development, but they're working in conjunction with a very, very high-end trigger manufacturer that they've partnered with. And due to the drop safety and how it works, Company B won't authorize it to be sold. They're trying to figure out how to make it 100% drop safe in both forward and tail direction. So it's just kind of been sitting on hold. I don't think it's like a giant priority for them, honestly. I don't know that for 100%. I don't think it's a for either company. I don't think it's their main focus. I think it's a project that they're working on. But as of right now, it's just a project. It's something that they want to do. They just haven't got it out there. So it's just sitting there. So hopefully someday, just like any other AEG part, they take time, and it seems like it takes 3 to 4 times the normal amount of time to get products for this platform. Okay, well, cool. All right, guys. Well, starting to get a little dry mouth here. Yeah, 30 minutes in. You guys got good questions, and hopefully I'm getting you the answers you want. Okay. Well, I'll show you guys this one. Somebody had asked, because I'm running the LMG brake on this gun, there's no way to tighten this, and there actually is. You just won't like how you have to tighten it. So, with your standard check nut, you back these down and then pull them off like half a thread to make sure that they stay loose. Once you time the LMG brake, you can do this one of 2 ways. Preferably, what I do is I actually stick a Phillips number 2-bit or number 3-bit here in the front, or basically, I don't have a Phillips with me, like an ice pick, and you actually jam it here into one of the muzzle ports, and you hold it in place, and then you strictly tighten up the check nut to the flash hider or to the brake. That's how that's done. There is supposed to be a jig or a way to actually take the box end of a wrench and slip it over, like a 12 point, and it will grip onto here, and you can hold it. I just haven't gone over to see what metric size it is. I know it's not 5/8. It might be like a 3/4, so we're probably looking somewhere between like a 17 and a 20 millimeter world that this actually slips on. But if you guys happen to have one of these, I'd very much recommend be extremely careful not to nick one or damage one, because they're super expensive. They're like stupidly expensive, and you can't import them to the US anymore. If you can, you must know somebody that lives on the other side of the planet and get them to buy it, and then somehow you get it from there to you. But these stupid brakes, I mean, just the, if you bought them directly, you could have it shipped to you, are like $300. By the time you circumvent and get one here and imported and done, I mean, if in the US, I can tell you guys honestly, I've turned down $500 just for this muzzle brake. It's not so much that I want to keep it, for value size. I want one to show to you guys. If I had another one, I would be honest and just sell it for whatever the market, price was on one, because it's used. But I don't really want to sell this one, because I want to be able to show you guys how it works and, actually use it, because it's the only one I've got. But if you guys do happen to come across one of these and you can get one, like I said, I've turned down $500 for mine, and they sell brand new in Austria for like $250, $300. So give you an idea how to figure out how to get one. So there's that. So there's that barrel. Okay, I've got some parts, small parts here. You guys know this thing's junk now, and I'm actually going to show you how to properly install and put a bayonet lug on your AUG. And you can put a bayonet on a 16-inch barrel. It's just really, really tight, and you will not be able to use your forward grip anymore. I actually have a video showing how it was done to a gentleman from, it's probably been like 2 or 3 years ago. So, let's see. Sorry guys, I saw this thing pop up over here. Thanks. Let's see, Corey, where to find an AUG stock? Well, first of all, make sure that you get the stock for the proper AUG model you have. Do not buy one of the parts kits, one of the old STG-77 kits, because you can't use that stock if you're trying to find an old one. It will not work with the new A3s or the M1s. The receiver system, it won't fit inside the stock, and the trigger pack system doesn't work with the trigger bars. Modern new stocks for modern new AUGs, something like in the last 10 years. Forums, the typical auction sites, if you're trying to find a brand spanking new one, a waiting list at Steyr, USA or Europe, and get on the list, tell them what color you want, and as soon as it comes available that they have one, they go down that list. What do you use for bore guide when cleaning AUG barrels? Let's see, Kevin. Dude, literally, like when I clean a barrel, I've got a one-piece stainless steel rod from Shooter Pro. The nice big one-piece, like 30-something inch one for my big bolt gun. After this, I use a real Avid gun cleaning kit, and I stick from either end, depending on which side I want to do it from. I run a cleaner brush down it and a brass tube, and just scrub. I go all the way out, turn it around, punch it, and pull it back. Do that 4 or 5 times. Throw some oil down it. I don't even patch them. And I'm done. One other question I had. What is the best way? Okay, no problem, King. Suppressor gas plug. So, guys, that's been like a huge, big top question. I'm actually, if you guys saw, I thought I did a really nice write-up on the end of the barrels for thread pitches and stuff, and I'm going to be doing one similar to that for your actual pistons. So, what I give to everybody, and the big speech when everybody calls, you don't truly need a suppressor gas plug. First and foremost, just put a can on the end of your gun. Doesn't matter as long as it's caliber correct. So you need a 5.56 can. You can put a 30 caliber can on there. I mean, don't put a 22 because you'll blow it off the end of the can, off the end of the muzzle. So a proper suppressor for the caliber, or a larger one that you can do, like a multi-caliber system, you're not going to hurt the gun. I keep hearing, and a ton of people, and I actually told one gentleman, I'm like, please, put my name, attach it in there. The gun's not going to explode on you unless, something's horribly wrong with the suppressor, or, if you tried to home make one for some god-awful reason. Don't do that. It's illegal as hell. We'll just say dead air, because I like dead air suppressors. It's what I own. It's what I use. It's, literally my number one I go to. And they are coming out with the 5.56 can, and I'm trying. Hey, dead air, if you're listening, I have it. I want to play with it on here, and I want to buy one. I just want it before everybody else so I can just get on that wait list. So suppressor. You don't need the plug. I use a Nomad 30 or Nomad L 30 caliber can, big one. Put it on the end of the gun, it works perfectly. What you need to check, or what the issues become, people talk about overgassing, or the gun doesn't want to cycle correctly. It's based off the can's design, the internal dimensions of baffles, how much volume the can take. If it's a full auto can, if it's a bolt action can, it's literally built on how the can is meant to operate and function. So, Dead Air Sandman, SK, anything Nomad. Hell, I think you can even get away with doing the primal. Put it on the end of the gun and literally choose, shoot it in standard gas port, port number 1, or switch it over to adverse. I've got video showing us use at range day in multiple. We threw it on a full auto. We played with a Nomad Titanium, and the gun works perfectly. We went through the gas cycles and nothing changed. What you'll see in the video, if you guys will slow it down and watch it, there's 2 short, 3-minute videos, you'll see a bunch of gas come out up here, and it's literally because we're inside an indoor range with no air moving at the particular moment that we're filming. It's slowed down on the film, and we're just shooting whatever ammo that we had, whatever the range had, which was probably just, Winchester, just plinking, junky ammo. Yes, there was a little bit of overgas, or what you would consider to be overgas, coming out. Probably every 10th or 20th round that would come out, you'd get one. If you weren't shooting and keeping air movement, you could see it come out the ejection port a little bit more than usual. I can't say 100% more. It was probably 50 to 60% more than usual, but it wasn't bad. If we had filmed it outside with a little bit of air movement, you would never have seen it. And literally, I was closer than I am to this camera, on top of it, filming, trying to catch it, smoke, and show the powder burn. So, what I would tell you first to do: get your can, put on the gun, and try it in standard and in adverse mode. If everything seems to function and work okay, and not having an issue, you're good to go. Now, for some apparent reason you're having an issue, that's when the suppressor plug comes in, or you need to do what the drill method. And for that, at this current moment, shoot me an email. I'll explain it on a one-to-one basis until I do a video on that. But basically, you're going to pick if you're going to lose your standard or adverse setting, and then you have to modify and tune that suppressor to your gas plug to your rifle, and then it becomes a combo kit. It stays in that configuration. It doesn't work on anything else 100% like it will for that system. So that's how that works in the long explanation. Oh, you're welcome, 257. What do you think of the... Okay, that's actually a fun one. The VCR from Springfield. Give me a minute because I don't want to giggle too much. Let me get this put together and I'll explain that. So just hold me to it. Okay, that's actually really funny. Bayonet lug. So if you guys are going to install and put a bayonet on here, very, very simple. Everything has to come off the front of the barrel. If it's a bipod, muzzle brake, check nut, everything off the front, take it off, strip it. get everything clean, make sure your threads are good, and like I said, this will work on a 16-inch barrel all the way up to the 24. It doesn't matter, the threads here are universal. I keep getting oils on my hand. One second, guys. I don't want to smear this and like wipe it in my face and have some like weird grease mark. Okay, so when you go to put this on, make sure you have the right direction for your bayonet to go on. And the real simple thing, pull the nut and bolt out and just stick it on, and as soon as it sets, you can start threading. These are standard American threads pitch. It's not a lefty-loosey like the muzzle device. Go ahead and just screw this on, and we'll spin it here. The length of, depending on what bayonet, if you're going to use like an M9 bayonet, you're going to use the Steyr bayonet, the Glock, all that will determine the length of where this needs to go onto the rifle. So when I install this one, I'm just going to kind of pick about where I think it should be, and then once I actually have the customer's bayonet in hand, it's a real simple adjustment. You loosen up the nut and bolt, spin it where you need to for the muzzle device, and call it a day. So we're going to say that one's there. It's always been a thing of contention of what direction does a bayonet go on the AUG. Now granted, on a M4, it's pretty simple. It goes on the bottom because it's pinned to the barrel. It only goes this way, blade's on the bottom, pointing in forward. On the AUG, you can actually rotate them off to the side or up, down. You can basically clock it wherever you want to. That makes sense to you. I've actually done them at the 6 o'clock position, which I consider to be standard, and I have done them at the 12 o'clock position, which is a little goofy, but okay if you were to actually use it in a combat situation. The pointy end goes forward and it's sharp going up, not down. So just figure out where you want it. The little nut and bolt that go in here, when I say little, guys, my fingers are giant. It's a little bitty bolt. It goes in on one side only. The other side takes a absurdly tiny little nut, and it actually has a locking portion into the bayonet lug that you need to seat it. And I will be quite honest with you, if you drop it on carpet, go find a magnet, because you more than likely will not be able to find this thing by running your hand or your foot over it. So, one second. As I say that, I don't want to drop it and lose it in the damn floor. Go in there. Working on it. Hold on. Keep sticking in my hand. Back out. Always the fun stuff. As you guys know, I don't like to edit out. I like to show you how hard it is to get it done the first time. If I can get it to go in, and it's just trying to set it into that little cup and groove. And with this one being older, it's got a little bit of corrosion to it. So, see about trying to suck it up in here. Alright, I'll come back to it. It's just barely sitting there. So that's how that goes. And then for this particular one, since it's got the bipod, make sure that we set it in the right direction. And I get a lot of you guys asking, do the feet get in the way of the handguard or the gas port? And once we get this set down here, alright, we get this on. I'll show you guys. It's it doesn't, on this particular one being a small LMG barrel, this is a 20-inch that's been modified to take the system to make it just a small LMG barrel. This right foot leg, you need to back the screw off just about a quarter turn, make it a little bit loose, or you can do it on the left one. So you can see that this one particular here, the right's nice and tight, but I left the left one and I made it just a little bit loose. It won't fall out, it's just not as tight as the right hand side. So we'll go ahead and we're going to install the cap. And I don't particularly know for this customer if he wants this rotational stop cap or if he wants the castle nut, but since I'm assembling it doing it this way, we're putting the anti-rotational cap on here, and it's locked, and as you can see, this barrel moves. It tries to tighten up off the cap, so you leave the cap loose just a little bit to jam it onto the muzzle brake, which we're going to install. Get this to go on here, not left-handed. And it's so weird to do the left-handed threads. Come on. You would think I'd be able to do this really quick. Aha, there we go. Let's see. Okay, so I installed that on here, and everything at the moment is just hand tight. So as you guys can see, there's the actual bayonet lug. We'll spin this thing further back. This customer just wants on there. I don't know at the current moment if the bayonet will fit underneath here, because I don't have the one that he's sending yet to work. But normally when you do your bayonet lug in here, the very tip of your flash hider, especially on a tulip, you can actually see that it has a enlarged bezel on the front of it, and that's actually where the ring goes on the end of your bayonet. It actually sits right there on that groove, and that's what gives it support. So there's that. We'll tighten that up. Okay, so you can see the bipod's still pretty loose here for left and right movement. And when this actually goes into the gun, the reason I keep the left one loose is if you fold up your handguard, which we'll get this out the way, and let's see, should be good there. Yeah, there we go. Okay, it goes down and it clears, and then the right one goes down, and this is where you want it to be just a little bit loose. It's to actually clear the lockup that goes on the front side of the receiver, and it clears the piston. So that's what it looks like. It's not 100% vertical, it's offset to like 1 o'clock. So it's just a little, let's see, that's aligned. So as you can tell, it's off just that little bit. I'll try to line this up. It's right there, to give you guys an idea. I'll take a picture of this and kind of show it, but it does work. And then charge handle goes down. This foot's just a little bit loose, but it normally sits up. It does not get in the way of the charge handle, the receiver. It's normally just below it, so you're good to go. I just took pictures of showing the feet forward because I thought it was very interesting, just having the feet out here forward, and it's actually cut out. You don't have to worry about shooting even in any of the rotation of this. This cutout right here will let rounds pass. So I actually did shoot it this way. But that's how you do your barrel. And remember, time everything and make sure you set this down with a 19mm wrench. And then your anti-rotational pin is just a screw. Goes in the bottom that sits between the two cast nuts. And then that'll stop your movement to only give you, maybe 30 degrees of rotation, as if not, you could technically rotate this thing all the way over, or it could spin on you. So that's how that goes, and then you just adjust wherever you want your bayonet. So this one just needs to be tightened up and some Loctite applied to it once we figure out its last configuration. When you use the Loctite on this, remember, if you put red on there, red means it never comes off. Blue means at some point in time you're going to take it apart, and a dab does it. Please do not mix the two together like Steyr does at the factory and paint it in there like KY jelly. It sucks for me to take it apart. So do yourself a favor, just put a dab or two on the threads, tighten it down the way it's supposed to go, and it does not need to be Godzilla tight. Just snug it and you're good to go. If you over torque one of these, you'll bind the threads, and then the next person has to take it apart. It becomes a real nightmare. So there we go, that's done. Let's see, we can finish off the night here. I'm gonna go back and answer the Springfield question. I'm still kind of laughing and giggling about it. As you guys see the barrel here, and I'm going to use the AUG as an example because they built a bullpup, and it's an interesting design, and I do like Springfield. I've had their guns for years. I actually had an XD since they came out, and I was super, super fond of it. In the same fashion that I'm fond of Steyr. I'm involved, and I really liked how Springfield had those guns made. Or imported, whatever, however you want to go. They're marked Springfield, they're Springfield. I like the guns. I've shot one so much on the XD that I actually had to rebuild the gun twice. It's probably got 25 or 30,000 rounds of 357.6 through it. Literally had to have the gun rebuilt about 10 years ago. But on the new, and I call it the VCR, I know it's VHS, or I don't know. It's the old RCA tape conductor thing. It's overly complicated. The video that I saw, and granted they were not at SHOT Show to show the gun, which was really odd because Springfield decided to snub the event, and they sent those rifles to like every major popular YouTube person that's got a following list 10 times, 100 times more than what I've got, and everybody got one of the rifles. I haven't heard of anybody having a failure with the rifle. I think everybody, I don't want to say they were paid to make a good review, but if you go and kind of look at their reviews, their pictures of the rifle, it's really funny that like they're 95% identical setups. I mean, the optics, the mounts, like everything is like they carbon copied. They produced 100 or 150 of them and sent them into the world. I saw Ian McCullum's video from Forgotten Weapons. I like Ian. I've met him a couple times and conversate here and there with him. At no big thing that we're not like overly friends. We just know of each other. He did a big teardown video and actually showed the gun being field stripped and then like a complete disassembly. And what terrifies me, on a civilian side, cool. It's a bullpup and it works. It's in the same world as the Tavar or something, or the X95. It's just, I don't want to say it's a copy of a Steyr. It's somebody trying to mimic for sure what the AUG is. They're trying to improve. I just don't think they improved it at all. From a military standpoint, there's too many parts. It's way too complicated to do a field strip, to change it over, to make it from left-hand ejection to right-hand ejection and back and forth. You guys literally saw me take a barrel and add everything to it. The only thing I didn't do is pop out the gas piston, which literally comes out. There's 3 pieces here. The cup, if you wanted to field strip this, you would pull out the gas piston, the regulator, the piston and spring, and the barrel. It's 4 parts. On the actual AUG receiver, I mean, you guys haven't messed with one. It's pop out the side. There's your bolt carrier and your upper receiver. It's 1 piece or 2 pieces and a firing pin, and drop out your bolt. There's a pin, the bolt, the cage, a spring, and a buffer tube. There's your stock. You're done. Granted, I've got this on the back, but literally we pull a pin and pull out the fire control group. So fire control group in one hand, a pin, and a stock. 3 pieces. your receiver, bolt carrier group, 2 pieces. If you need to mess with the bolt system inside inside here, there's like 4 pieces for a major disassemble. I think the AUG, honestly, I'd have to, off the top of my head, I think the whole gun, if you totally field strip it down, like 100%, and we're not talking pull the trigger out or the safety or anything, we're talking like an actual, in the field, a grunt's going to pull this thing down. There's maybe 20 pieces at maximum. Like if you go fine detail, there's more like what I have here on the table. There's 5 or 6 pieces. I mean, we've got a trigger group, the pin that holds it in, and a stock, 3. Your carrier assembly, your receiver, you've got 2 pieces, and you've got 4 on a barrel, counting the barrel itself. It's simple. A guy in the field is going to take this thing totally apart. You're not going to lose anything. It goes back together. Lickety split. We're done. We throw the barrel in it, and it latches. No tools required. The Hellion thing requires tools to take it apart. You need ammunition rounds, a stick. Pop stuff, loose dust covers all come apart. For what I saw of it, it's a gimmick. I mean, it's interesting, and yes, I'd like to shoot one just to be 100%. So you're taking what I've seen in pictures and video, just for what I think it looks like. I'm not overly impressed. I wasn't overly impressed with the Tavor, the X95. They're trying to make this into the 21st, 22nd century. They're trying to make this better. Steyr got it right. It's not because I'm a Steyr fan. I'm a fanboy for the rifle. Yes, I'll admit to it. I like this thing. I like it for its quirks. The few things it doesn't do really well, it's fine. It works. Look at those systems. They're overly complicated, and they really haven't been fielded anywhere. The X95 has, and that it's got some track record. That's cool. But the AUG's got 3 or 4 different variants in different countries. They've been used for, since 1980 in most of those places. And we're in, the 4th generational design of it? And that's basically a stock. It's a stock and an upper receiver, how this thing goes together. And literally, guys, the A3 to the M1 is literally dinky on the front, one for the US and one for Europe. Like, that's literally it. All the parts, everything interchanged between the two, except for, the actual rail. That's kind of my thought. That's why I kind of giggled at it, because everybody thinks it's going to put this thing finally to bed, and the AUG won't be able to hold up to its new children. I think they've got a long way to go to catch up with the old man here. So that's what I think about it. And hey, maybe I'll prove myself wrong. When I actually get my hands on one to play with it, time will tell. And like I said, that's just for what I've seen, read the literature, and seen what people have been shooting and playing with it. Accuracy, distance-wise, I haven't really seen anybody field the rifle to see what it's capable of. Heck, it could be a laser beam and shoot, 500 yards, 1 MOA, consistently with anybody behind it. Where the AUG, I shoot 500 yards, and I've got some time behind it. Consistently, I can go out to 500 yards in this configuration, rather if it's the big barrel or the short barrel. So, we'll just have to see. Let's see. Qin, I have a Vortex, AMG Gen 2 on. Let's see, for your optics question, I am not, I'd have to see the pictures to get it in my head exactly what you've got. It doesn't matter on optics, man. Does it work for you? Can you see? Does it work for your eyesight, your eye relief? And do you like it? I'm the guy that runs a 45-degree offset Delta Point Pro, and everybody can't figure out why I go from here to sticking my nose behind it and finding, I actually had to look for it because the barrel's not here, a red dot, and switch to this way for CQB systems. It's just a backup. If you like the sight system, it works. if you were contacting me and asking me like, hey, I've got a flat top rail and I'm gonna buy an optic, what are your recommendations? Do you want the classic look? There's 3 different factory optic Steyr, 1 to 3 powers. If you've got money and you don't mind using it, an ACOG on an AUG just hands down works. It's extremely, extremely efficient, and they're matched together. They're almost like they're supposed to work together. If you don't want to spend that type of money, and trust me, I mean, $2,000 for an optic to go on a bullpup is stupid. I've seen them. Yes, granted, I've seen them for $1,000, but it's a huge price range. I mean, an ACOG works. Good holographical EOTech. I mean, simple $500-$600 EOTech. Throw it on there, maybe a magnifier, and rock and roll with it. But it really depends on your setup, what you're going to do with it. One thing I would not recommend to do, this gun does not need a standard hunting optic on there. Maybe an LVO works pretty well, but I've seen guys put Bushnell's, Viper Vortexes. I've seen Leopold, Freedom Line. This gun just doesn't really work to put your standard duplex reticle hunting scope on it. I've actually seen them break scopes. It doesn't work that well. A fixed power or a red dot works really, really well. King. Your head, flex kitty mount, come in with. Alright, King. Well, I mean, you've got some parts coming and some time to do some install. The gearhead works, swivel stud. I'll give you fair warning, the first couple times that you put it in there, it's going to be really tight. I would recommend make dinner, sit down, and watch The Walking Dead for an episode or two, and literally just push it in and out the stock, and give it some time to wear itself in. As you see, I pop mine out pretty easy now, but I literally pull this thing down 3 to 4 times a week, demoing it or shooting and messing with it. But don't be surprised if it's really stiff. You might even need the back end of a screwdriver the first 1 or 2 times, pushing it in and out, releasing the carrier group from the stock. So just be mindful of that, but it works really well. I've got no issues with it. I love mine. The Midwest Industries, the side rail that you're going to install, I just helped a guy, and I'll tell you the same thing. These screws that go in here, the factory ones are at 15 inch-pounds. Don't do any more, you'll break them or you'll strip out the threads. 12 to 15 inch-pounds when you reinstall your screws. And preferably blue Loctite. Okay, since I can't find one of the old... I've got an email, Midwest Industries, and that's it was an update from SHOT Show. I have a rail, but sorry, it's on the other side and I'm behind the table. I do have one of those rails. They quit producing AUG parts, so if you want like the little side rail, if you've already got one or somebody else wants one, you guys see this video. If you find it, buy it. If you find one of the Midwest Industries actual A3 receiver top rails, buy it. They're not in production anymore. And Midwest said unless somebody was to order 100 or 200, like they actually were going to have a substantial order, those parts will never be made again. They said the platform it's not an AR platform, it's not what their business model is going into. So that was the reason it was discontinued middle of last year. So there are some still out there. I've actually got a contact with a company. I'm going to follow up with them. I'm trying to buy what's ever left of their product, whatever they've got left in the warehouse, because they're not showing any on their website. I think they sold all out, but I know they were doing inventory the week prior to SHOT Show. They thought they had 1 or 2 possibly left, maybe a box or 2 of them. So if I can get them, I've already told them I would buy whatever they're left over. I made that agreement with them at SHOT Show, so I told them whatever products they had left for the AUG, for those rails, I would buy the last of the quantity. So if I can get them, I've told a couple other people, I'm taking list orders, and I'm going to go down first come, first serve if I get them, depending on how many I get. So that's on that system. Well, heck, guys, I think we've pushed a good hour. Hopefully, this camera system and the internet, everything's been really good. Audio-wise, I've got a new microphone that should be working, so no one's said anything that's been goofy. Oh. So, stream cut higher. Okay, well, I'm double checking. Don't know if you guys, one of mine's saying that there's like 7 people kind of hanging out. But that's it. I'm going to pack this up, call it a night. I've got some things to do tomorrow. It's Valentine's weekend, so I'm going to go be a Valentine to somebody. Somebody loves me somewhere. I appreciate it. So you guys know, if you have any questions, you guys feel you're more than welcome. DM me, Facebook, Instagram, here YouTube, leave a comment in the video, and like any other YouTuber and everything else, guys, if you like the videos, you share the videos. That helps me out, shows what you guys like. Granted, I do a bunch with the Steyr stuff. This upcoming year, we're changing that up. We're moving around. I'm doing stuff, other gun products and things that I like to do. I'm talking to EOTech. Leopold's supposed to be coming on. I've got a thing with Dead Air. I'm talking with them. I'm trying to possibly do some other work and help out and just kind of be over for the products and stuff that I like. We definitely are going to do a lot more bolt action this year, and the 0 to 1 mile project, I'm going to focus probably a good 40 to 50% of my time on bolt action, PRS, and that's the precision rifle series in precision rifle shooting. So just not like the competitional side. I've been invited to a few of the matches to test out to, see what I'm capable of doing. I'm really going to focus more on the ELR side. This year, King of 1 mile. So if you're familiar with like King of 2 mile, the 2 mile distance extreme long range shooter guys, this year in the United States is going to be the very first King of 1 mile competition held since the creation with the 50 Calibers Association and a few of the other big name distant shooter people. And I am setting up to get my qualification in to compete at the end of the year. So I believe it's around August or September is the end of the season for that. So if you guys start seeing a bunch of bolt action stuff, different, me playing with ammos, talking about that, and then explaining the 0 to 1 mile project, I really want to do about a 12-month, video installment, and we're going to talk about everything bolt action and doing basically precision rifle shooting into the ELR extended long range, what it takes in doing everything, and that whole program. Yes, I did do my 1 mile shot, and I've got the beginning of it and the end of it kind of filmed. I want to get the middle situated, but everything is going to be commercially attainable. So anything I show, anything I talk about, demo, and do anything with 0 to 1 mile, that's been its main focus. You guys will be able to literally go to Brownells, go to Optics Planet, or just call the manufacturer and buy it yourself. There's nothing that I'm playing with that's one-off. And that's a huge key factor. And when I tell companies that's what I'm doing, that gets their attention. It kind of blows their mind that I'm using factory commercial grade equipment, taking 308 to a mile, and hopefully this year beyond a mile, accurately and consistently. So that's what we're doing with the 0 to 1 mile. So if you guys see that logo out there, it's hashtag 0 to 1 mile, or you'll hear me say 0 to 1 mile making the shot. That's actually the book form, because I'm writing a book about it. So I'm working on that. So hope that works out. Looks like we've kind of kicked it away and ended for the night. So I'm going to say goodnight. It's time to go find dinner and kick back and enjoy the weekend and play with more toys, and then figure out where my parts got off to, or his parts that I need to tinker with this and his other build. So, alright guys, be good, be safe, see you on the range. Oh, someone snuck. Alright, you caught me. Alright, no more. If you had a comment, I'm going to answer it later. Last one, Frosty just hopped on. Is there a convenient way to get a stripped AUC receiver for an AUG? man, you missed out because I did have one. Very, very simple answer. They're unobtainium. 24-inch barrels and AUG receivers are the same mythical creature. So, no. In the last 15 years, there's been like 22 that I know about that's come on the market. I just happened to have one, and it's sold at SHOT Show. Actually had a gentleman that's an AUG fanatic, worse than I am, heard I had it, and just said he'll take it. Didn't even ask what I wanted for it. But they are out there occasionally, but you'll probably find a 24-inch LMG barrel before you find the next stripped receiver. So, no, for the most part, if you need a receiver, like a 9mm conversion, or you're trying to do something maybe to have a NATO and a non-NATO stock and change it out, no, you're not going to get a receiver. And for the most part, you're within $500 or $600 of just buy another gun. Just go find someone's bashed up or a really good used AUG and buy it for a parts kit. Okay. Later, Wolf. Alright, guys. Well, I'm kicking it. I'm going to end it out. Not a problem, Frosty. When you do that, there's actually pictures of what one looks like on my Instagram and Facebook page. You could have seen it there. If you want, man, shoot me an email, and I'll add you to my client list of searching for mythical parts, or when I get something, I'll figure out who was asking for what, and I'll put you in contact with whoever might have it. So, best I can do for you. But welcome. Have yourself a good one. Night, everybody.